What's going on, people? It is, I don't know, I think it's the 12th of March today, 2026. It's currently 10 o'clock at night, and I believe, I'm hoping that you can hear me now. And I believe that whenever I want to talk about something, making a video is the best time to be able to do it when it's burning. Because when it's burning, I have real passion to be able to talk about it, and the words that I'm going to speak aren't me trying to backtrack things that I was thinking of yesterday. The flowing off the tongue easier. Today has been a life-changing day, to say the most, and it's life-changing due to conversations I've had with people. Conversations I've had with two people in particular, and situations that have just arisen. I Okay, so first and foremost, I just want to talk about the stresses, the things that I often talk about, like what I complain about, but what is often the most important thing to talk about. So if anyone out there is watching, they're able to get a better understanding. But also, for me, it's great to be able to look back on in the future, because even at the start of this video, at the start of this, YouTube, I guess, series, you can call it, whatever it is, you can very much see, well, even though obviously I'm not showing visuals of the property, which some of them I am, I'm starting from literally point A, and I'm growing gradually, and I've gone from one property to now seven properties, to now hopefully by tomorrow 8 properties, and a few more properties in the pipeline and stuff like that. And the reason why I say hopefully is because I've just got in with this new council, and they give it on a nightly rate paid accommodation. I've been negotiating with this agent for quite a bit now, and they've said to me, the landlord's coming back with the contract, and we're gonna print it off, and you're gonna sign it. We're just going back and forth with the contract now, but it should be completely sorted, and then I should be able to move the person in there as soon as possible. But stresses, I've got 3 properties with this one particular council, all in nightly rate paid accommodation. It's amazing. And I took a risk, and this agent gave me 2 flats in one go. Obviously, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take the 2 flats, because my representative said to me that we're looking for 1 beds in particular. So I get it. I'm optimistic about it. I'm confident. I do it all up, and I'm like, yes. And now advance, a month and a bit forward. It's almost been 2 months now, and the property's still not filled. Now I'm starting to get a little bit of, a bit of scared about it. I probably am working myself up more than I should be. And granted, the rent from the other property is covering that at the minute, but it's like, I'm getting mixed signals from my representative, and this again might just be being scared, because I'm supposed to have a call with him tomorrow. But he's saying to me, I'm gonna get it filled. He's putting email chains with social workers. He is trying to be able to sort it out, and he said that there's a 13 bed that they're working on at the minute that you've just got. But as you can imagine, I've got this property for this specific purpose. I'm paying rent. I've put money up forward, and I really, and he's gone from, guarantee I'm going to put someone in, to now to now being like, I don't, I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. So as you can imagine, I'm stressed, because what if he says no? And if he does say no, then ultimately that 1 bed property that they said they're looking for, how am I supposed to ever find another other property for him? Because what if this ends up happening again? It's all these things that I just tell myself in my mind, like, what if? And again, this is perfect. As much as, if I was able to look at it from a bird's eye point of view, it's perfect to be able to look at this situation and say to myself, like, gosh, this is terrible. But to be able to take out, like, okay, I'm not going to be optimistic. I'm not going to take on 2-1 again unless I have someone in place. I'm not going to furnish it straight away until I figure out exactly what they're going to need. I'm always going to speak to them and find out exactly right now, what are you looking for before I take it on. All these different things which are so small, but yet are so needed to be able to take forward you into this property game, into any business platform that you're going to be able to do, because you'll be able to get little things in your business model. Is so important. It's the little nitty gritties about it. But yeah, he might, and if that's the case, then me finding another 1 bed again, it might not be justified until the 100% says I've got someone here for it, which should be the case anyway. And again, I was just getting this, but it's also like, well, if you say you've got people ready for it, then you should be able to take the 1 bed no matter what. So, as you can imagine, it's been playing on my mind for a long time because I'm thinking, well, what if I have to give the property back and I've just wasted all that money? Which ultimately shouldn't be the case because there always is a list of people on for the property. And I'm just thinking, man, like I just really, really, really need to be able to get this sorted. So I'm not going to be able to sleep until I have. I'm not going to be able to sleep till I have this conversation with him and you know in a sense beg and plead, basically say, look, I'll do a lower nightly rate, you know, and basically just I guess to say to him, look, you know, ultimately I understand you've got this because I was trying to be a bit nice, but now I've got to be a bit more serious in the sense, and it's finding that fine line of, you know, being respectful but also saying what you need to be able to say. So yeah, man, I'm just really hoping to be able to get that across the line. And that's all I can say for that really. Um, and it's just all these different stresses. Now the two conversations I had today, one of which was basically another idea to be able to work with the council. And this person in particular, he's getting really, really good money from the councils that he's working with. And, you know, the money he's getting upfront payments, he's structured in a way where he's getting more money, you know, top ups. And, you know, I had a conversation with him today. He took it. Well, we were supposed to have a meeting, but we did have a meeting. He said, "Oh, you know, I'm getting Nando's. Do you want anything?" And I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, sure, Nando's." You know what I mean? Um, and basically, I gave him a property that one of my landlords had because I'm not able to make any money on it. Because ultimately, on a HMO standpoint, it's going to be it's not a lot of profit. But for what he's doing, he's able to structure it in a way where he's going to be able to make money. So he said to me, look, do you want to come for a meeting? You know, we'll talk about this. I'll call the landlord when you're here and I'll put you in touch with my person. I'll explain to you how this model works. And he put me in touch with the guy that he's working with for one of them. And he of course told me the other people that he worked with. And just having this knowledge and understanding is going to be able to enable me to work with these other councils. And it's fantastic. It is fantastic. And you know, he's just put me in touch with this person. He's got back to me straight away. I'm so happy because this is opening another avenue, and this is ultimately what I've always been wanting. I've always wanted a path to be able to follow. And as long as I'm able to make profit, as long as I can do it efficiently, I can be in control of getting the properties. As long as I have people there wanting it, that's the game changer. Having a straight path to be able to go down within this property business is what I've always wanted to be able to do. And I've always thought, well, what if the temporary accommodation doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? And to be able to utilize all these things and make as much money as possible is what I've always wanted to do. And now I feel like I'm in a point where, and this is where the other conversation with the other guy I had, he told me today that, you know, he has 50 Airbnb properties he manages. You know, went to gym with him then, and he gave me a really good understanding. Obviously, because I was thinking about doing a short-term cleaning company. He said, yeah, it can be profitable, stuff like that, but obviously stress, and of course everyone says stress, but mainly about the prices and stuff. Okay, but he also mentioned to me how what he's doing right now, he's built it to 50. He's making really good money on it. It's amazing. But he decided also in the same point that he was at, and he's a little bit older than me, to be able to start a new business, which is CRM system, and basically, you know, growing businesses and making money on that. And so, what he said was, it's easy to be able to caught up and think you know it all, and think, yeah, I'm going to do this, but the power of just focusing on one specific business model is what you need to be able to do to be able to make it grow. And there's going to be times where I'm thinking right now, I've got all this time, but I really don't. Because when I really, really, really think about it, yeah, I've got this time to be able to work with this one specific council. But what if I went out there and took this knowledge and understanding that I just got today and be able to apply it to be able to start working on other councils and systemize it to be able to work with them and get the process done? Because that relationship is going to take a while to be able to build. And that's going to be my bread and butter now, to be able to get that relationship, act as a supplier, and now work with the temporary accommodation I've got now to be able to find the properties and essentially get to a point where you're working with all these different companies. I mean, not companies, councils, providers, whatever it is. And now I've got to a point where it's like I'm getting I'm having all these. I've got the social workers messaging me. I know I've got people to be able to place. Then it's down to me as a duty, as the entrepreneur, to be able to find the properties. And now more than ever, the properties mean something because I'm getting guaranteed people in place. I'm getting the money, and now all of a sudden it becomes a model where it's not just investments. It's continuous finding the properties, negotiating, and managing the properties to be able to make sure it's suitable. And so when I take it into consideration like this, it makes so much more sense. And granted, I've just started this cleaning company. I don't know where I'm going to be at with this. Should I keep going for it? Do I have time for it? I need to be able to, and this is okay because ultimately I am, still learning every single day, and I will figure this out no matter what. But it's just gave me a really good understanding today, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I am still stressed, so still nervous, to say the least, if this property is gonna, if he's gonna be able to get someone for this property and stuff like this, and I don't want it to take too long and all that. But ultimately, it's all learning at the end of the day. I can only do what I can do. Ultimately, I only can do what I can do, and I just wanted to be able to jump on here and share this because. And he also said to me today, the other guy I went gym with, he said, when you're driving at 70 miles an hour, you only focus on one thing, the road. But everything outside is happening. You're going past the trees, you're going past the houses, you're going past the sky, going past other people driving. All these different things that are around you, surrounding you, only focus on the road. And you need to be able to take a moment to be able to step out and just to be able to enjoy. For me, battling this contradiction in my head, like still in the point where it's like I've become so successful that I'm so far away from where I used to be and thinking that if it was possible, but I'm still so far away from where I want to be able to be and the success I want to be able to achieve, that I'm still contemplating whether to absolutely put full on focus on or try and take a bit of time for myself, because I realistically, I have none of my old friends. I have one, but I don't really talk to them that much, nor do I really want to be able to associate with them because although they're a good person, even for myself, I can come across destructive because I'm not one to associate with anything else that's other than this, because as soon as I get in a different environment, I'm thinking, I need to work. And then I'm moody. I need to work. I need to work. I need to work. And it's just this constant contradiction. Do I go out? Do I enjoy a nice meal with my old mum? Do I contact my old friends? Do I try and enjoy? It's all these different things, and it's like, and especially with this, I'd hate to go back, man. I'd hate to get rid of this property after I spent all this money on, but I might have to do that, and I have to be prepared to be able to do that. And preparation is very much just saying to myself, okay, it is what it is. But having the ability to say, look, I'm going to move forward from this. I'm going to learn from this and keep going. And mistakes are expensive. Mistakes are expensive. And one thing that I love is I've learned to understand that money is always going to be there. Now that I look in my bank and I'm thinking, oh my God, it's 9K, I'm in overdraft. I've got 3,800 coming in. Okay, so my overdraft is going to be to 5K. I've got more profit coming in from these properties. I've got this property going forward. So sooner or later, this overdraft, this thing is going to be able to be in profit. I'm going to learn. I'm going to take a hit. So what? I've learned from it. I've been able to keep going. And that's pretty much it. Now, I wish this video can go on a bit longer because I feel at peace when I be able to make a video. It distracts me from ever having to think about anything else. But as soon as this video ends, man, I don't know what to do. Sometimes I try not to go bed early because I want to wake up late just so it turns past 9 a.m. so I'm able to start making to the calls to the agencies, to the landlords, not to the landlords, to the agencies, to the councils. And I've even got one property where the provider said, look, I want to pay tomorrow. I don't have the money at the minute. And the landlord's chewing my ear off, but that's the last of my worries. If that won't go, obviously, but that's the least of my worries at the minute. I've got a lot to be able to think about, and it's so much stress because you feel like you're working so hard, and again, you are making money, but you're not making nowhere near to where you really want to be able to be at. And you see all this success with these other people, you know, the people in my academy making all this money and having this opportunity, and he's on 19 properties and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh my God, you run that many properties. It's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. We just have to be able to keep going, man. So thank you very much.